Channel6.ca, supported by... Are you looking for a new career that pays well and takes care of you? Then join us at Pitt Ernie's. We are driven to excel. Are you?
We're in difficult times in terms of trying to prepare a one-year budget, let alone a three-year budget.
It's a sign of the times. With the economy doing not so well, the City of Red Deer has created a safe and manageable operating budget.
Well, the operating budget as a whole now comes out at about a 3.78% increase. Now, it never works out exactly like that when you apply it because there are, of course, assessment variations across the city, but this is our best guess as to what an average increase would be, 3.78%.
Council had established the budget guideline in April. That was unanimously adopted. The direction to administration was to not exceed the 5%. The budget that administration has tabled today has come in well under that, which I'm appreciative of.
So how does that break down? Why is it 3.78?
So we have some decisions that were made in the 2015 budget that we now have to fund fully in 2016, and so we're looking at around 2.9% for that. And then additional requests from the departments come in around 1%. And finally, we have some cost savings we've identified which reduce those slightly to the 3.78% total. We anticipate that the increase on a monthly basis will be around the $6 mark.
The city has had some obstacles put in its way, including many uncertainties from the province and the Canadian economy.
We have a responsibility to move our community forward on behalf of Red Deerians, but the great challenge this year is, of course, we are in a deeper recession than we experienced in 2008. So we have to demonstrate financial leadership as well and be responsive to the needs of our community in terms of moving the community forward.
When we saw the provincial budget, we were cautiously optimistic because the money for the MSI, which is our main grant program, was intact, and it was shown to be increasing next year to make up for the one-time shortfall in the original Prentice budget. So that was reasonably optimistic, but we found out last week all of a sudden that the taxes paid in lieu for social housing throughout the province, in fact, and particularly in Red Deer, has been cut completely. And so we then found ourselves with a shortfall of $455,000, a direct download. And so that was disappointing, but we worked hard and have incorporated that into the budget, but it has increased the bottom line.
It was a little bit of a difficult budget in that we are seeing some additional pressures from the provincial government and certainly some continued growth pressures within the city. The city manager alluded to gaining additional parks. We've also gained, with those new neighborhoods, additional roads to maintain, and so we have to make allowance for those types of increases.
I've been in touch with mayors, the mayor of Calgary, as well as the other mid-sized city mayors in terms of the grants in lieu, to just gain a sense of the financial impact of those grants in lieu, and we will certainly be approaching the government of Alberta to reconsider that.
So what does that money get you as a taxpayer?
Yes, I think that the key is we've tried to produce a really responsible budget that would keep the services that Red Deerians pride in, while at the same time maintaining a lot of our facilities, roads, sewers, etc., to the standard they need to be.
We don't want to incur an infrastructure or service level deficit by gutting operations, but we also don't want to impose tax spikes on our citizens and overcorrect the other way as well.
So it's very much a budget that looks at protecting our core infrastructure, not doing anything dramatic and waiting to see what some of the new provincial initiatives mean. Because when we talk about something like a carbon tax, we just don't know what that impact will be on the city.
Starting January 6th, Council will meet and discuss the proposed operating budget and make some tough decisions.
I think administration has done its best reasonable interpretation and effort at finding cost savings. Council will, of course, deliberate, and there may be other areas where Council can exercise some financial levers and not.
We believe that it's a responsible budget. It doesn't include any major cuts in service. There are some adjustments, but nothing major. And we're saying that this is the worst possible time to do draconian solutions. We saw what happened in the 90s when we cut back in the city city on maintenance, and we don't want to repeat that mistake.
Our public has identified priorities for us around transportation, public safety, and core municipal services such as snow and ice control. So I think we'll see the biggest deliberations probably pertaining to the RCMP budget and some of the requests there.
In the meantime, you do have a voice. You have a chance to review and give your opinions to council before they deliberate.
Deliberations, of course, begin January 6th, so that provides a window of time for our public to provide feedback in terms of service level impacts. I think on the whole, there are cost efficiencies identified in this budget without service level cuts. And often when we hear back from the public, it's with respect to anticipated service level cuts.